Is this thing on? Yes, I believe it's on. I don't do this live stuff very often. What's up, everybody? This is the Broken Controller Club. My name is Ed. I'm your host. Thought I'd do a live introduction today instead of the normal elevator music with the funny, the picture and the writing and all that stuff. I just want to do something a little bit different for a change. So thank you very much for watching my video. If this is your first time here and you want to see more content, obviously hit the subscribe button because that's what everybody's going to ask you to do when you watch a video of theirs. Today's video review we're going to do is of Layton's Mystery Journey, Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy. It's another late to the party review because that's just how my schedule goes sometimes. I review as much as I can. But anyways, I hope you enjoy it. Anything else that you want to see me review, whether it's new, old, whatever, I've got like every other system ever made. Go ahead and put it in the comments section. I would love to hear it, and it gives me more ideas to go ahead and review stuff from. So anyways, thank you for watching, and on with the show. Alright, so as I've said already, I've decided to go out my comfort zone and play the latest installment in the Professor Layton series, Layton's Mystery Journey on Switch. Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy focuses not on Professor Layton himself this time around as it did in the previous games, but this time on his daughter Catriel. Turns out the good professor has gone missing, and Catriel opens up her detective agency to not only solve various smaller cases throughout London, but also hopes to find her dad as well. She's joined by her assistant Ernest and a talking dog that she names Cheryl. The game's characters are all upbeat and likable. Something here that bugs me though, but it isn't all that surprising, is that Catriel is like the typical gumshoe detective that has no real credentials, but somehow like she always solves the case before the bumbling and incompetent actual police detective does. I don't know, it's just kind of lame at this point. So I think the graphics look great. They're very colorful, and the animated cutscenes are pretty fun to watch. The game was developed by Level 5, so the art style reminds me a lot of Ni no Kuni, and they've got an awesome reputation for not only their games, but their art styles as well. They're a weird mix of this European setting, but then sometimes the characters still over-emote, kind of like you're watching an anime. The whole setting is a mix of styles. So like the game appears to take place in a modern London, but there's still older technologies that are used. So for the first few cases, I'm thinking it's in an older time period due to the clothing and such, but then I realized that they have like electricity and movies and stuff. I think that's actually pretty cool, and it reminds me of how that was done in Batman the Animated Series as well. So the game's separated into various cases that you solve and has a few different phases you'll progress through to complete each one. There's basically an animated but mostly static image you'll use your magnifying glass on to select, tap on things on the screen to collect clues or other items, interview people, or cycle through the menus. You'll also encounter lots of puzzles in order to not only raise your overall score in the game, but also to progress through the story. These puzzles range from being simple brain teasers to logic puzzles to some being riddles. The amount of points you get for each one also indicates the difficulty. It'll range from a 25-point puzzle that, unless you're me, you should be able to solve really easily, to these more difficult ones that you'll want to make use of a notepad or even the little markup tools that you've got available in the game itself. I did find that while the puzzles were all different, that it was pretty common to see one along the lines of destroy all the aliens on the grid with just 4 shots, or feed all the fish with just 3 pieces of bait, or something similar. Like there's this whole do something with only so much to, complete the objective or whatever. But basically, you'll search areas, interview people, do some puzzles, then once you collect all the clues, you'll crack the case. Your mileage may vary on this, but there's a ton of dialogue in this. Most of it is useless banter as well, which is easier to listen to, at least for me, than it is to read. Not that reading is hard, I graduated from public school and am proud to read at a 3rd grade level, but I'd rather hear this interaction with the characters and feel like they're coming to life on the screen instead of having to tap A every couple lines to advance the dialogue. That's my complaint with games like Disgaea and Neptunia as well. You got your witty writing and banter that are fun, but they need to lead somewhere eventually. Do it for too long and your audience's eyes will glaze over, not unlike the looks I get when I drone on for too long myself. I was disappointed at how linear the game felt at times. Like for a game that wants you to search and investigate things, you're basically led by the nose to each screen you need to be at, and it keeps a tally of how many other clues you need to pick up at the time, and then it tells you where to go next and who to talk to. The game starts off really slowly. Like they explain everything through that first case. Maybe the developers just wanted you to focus more on the fun of research and not trying to really rack your brain figuring out where to go next, but it would have been nice to feel like I was actually the one figuring things out and not just being told, we need to go to the river next, and then being told, hey moron, go to the river. That said, there's basically no point in going to any previous sections of the map either, unless you're trying to poke at objects to unlock more puzzles, or collect hint coins. And while I'm at it, just a side note on that map as well. The default is to walk to each location until the game tells you to bicycle there, but everything looks like it's within the same block. What the heck is the point of making them use a bicycle? There's no load times or walk times or anything like that that's being calculated, so what does it matter if I make them walk there instead of cycle? There's no benefit. So other than puzzles, you've got some other things you can do if you want to break. You can download daily puzzles, which actually will let you download puzzles all the way back to a year, which I thought was really impressive. Or you can cook things for characters you meet and try to impress them, run a retail store, which is a lot less of a nightmare than in real life, and also play a mini game where you're helping Cheryl escape the pound, which sounds kind of dark, but it's fun. Which, considering he's the character that gets all the trash-talking one-liners and sassy comebacks, I'm not really all that surprised he ended up there to begin with, because someone probably put him there. There's a lot of content here to keep you busy in between cases, or even after you beat the game. The stories told here are good, and they're lighthearted, the characters are enjoyable, and the puzzles can be challenging. One last critique I have is that this game really is meant to play in handheld mode on the Switch, and that shouldn't be surprising because this all started as a DS series. Using the analog to get around is a chore, and giving it more than a small nudge will take the speed of the cursor from slow to ludicrous speed instantly. That aside, if you want something with a decent story and puzzles to mess around with, I think this is worth the time. So that is all I've got for today, but thanks again for watching. Remember to subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you have any other games you'd like to see. Until next time. Do you like what you see? Or did you lose a bet and have to subscribe to your most hated channel on YouTube? Do you feel sorry for me? Be sure to ding that sexy subscribe button before changing channels, as I have no shame and will take whatever I can get. Thanks again for watching.